What up, what up, what up, what up? We're going to wait for Mike to come in 2 minutes. We've just been in here, the Discord, speaking to the community of the Fivers. And we're going to jump straight in because I'm looking for a short. Let me turn the music down. Looking for a short on Euro. And I want to catch it. Oh, and I think I've just missed it. Yeah, I think we just missed the shot on Euro, which is super annoying. But yeah. So we're going to go through, when Michael comes in, we're going to go through what's been happening on this week. Obviously, there's been a lot of different trades, a massive move on Euro. So we're just actually trying to trade, this back into its range. Let me have a look and see what else. I'm going to leave this up here. Give me 2 secs, guys. Send Michael the okay. So with Euro, we're trying to get into this trade here. If it comes back up, then we'll be looking for this short position, and we'll be looking for it to take it down to the extension of the 50 fib. I'm going to go through some of the different trades that we had earlier in the week. So we can go through gold first, because gold had a beautiful run up and we had some lovely trades. Here the man is. Here he is. Can I...
Did you take something? No, you didn't take anything, did you?
No. Did I take something? What do you mean? Oh, no. I've missed out on the position. No, I missed out on the Euro. Missed out on that. But it could come back. I was supposed to get in the 50 and I was faffing around, but it may come back up.
Look at the Euro though. Hang on a second.
Yeah.
Let me share my screen. Look at what Euro did though. I marked out on the Discord right now. Let me hide that. Let me hide that. I'm not saying that it didn't that it's not gonna hit stop loss. But look at that, guys. Tell me what you think. But I think that could have been an amazing entry. I would have been probably a little bit too reluctant to go in for that, but that's a really nice entry. And if you look at it on the 15-minute, it's retesting this area here. So let me delete that. There we go. It's taken that inside bar down there on the low side, and it's left it on the other side as potential liquidity to take. So I'm not saying it will, but it could. I mean, look at that on the 11-minute. The 11-minute looks really nice for buys right now, and that would just be taking us up to here. If we take it down to the over to the daily still has room for us to go into. This here is where we are sat right now. We've tapped into it. So that's the only thing that I'm conscious of, is that we do have this engulfing bearish candle. But then again, so is this. This is also a bearish engulfing candle, and much more powerful and much stronger. So it might be that we're going in to tap into something like that. Take it to the 2-day. The 2-day, it's also bearish engulfing. Same on the 3-day. The 4-day, it's obviously much bigger. And then on the 11-day as well. The 11-day, interesting enough, still has quite a way to go. So we'll see. I suppose with NFP, the way it's announced and way people, Daniel, the way that the markets react to it could make a big difference. But also then you've also got to think about the way that Trump reacts to it. That's the other thing. You know, we all know that Trump is, you know, he doesn't like to have his ego bruised. And, you know, he famously once said that any president that presides over big dumps on the indices should be impeached. Well, maybe his friends in the Senate are going to get tired of him eventually, because it's still selling off on the NAS.
I'm getting a feeling you don't like him.
How can you trust anyone with that much orange paint on them? I mean, it just doesn't look good.
Be surprised. All right, I've got my screens now set up so I can actually see what Euro's doing. So if it comes back up and takes these little highs, if it comes back up, take these highs, then I'll be waiting to get into my position here. This is the trade. But we were just going to go through some of the different trades that we had this week, because we'll just do the quick recap. So gold, we had this lovely trade that was done in the live stream. So price didn't break down, so we could see it from here and here. Once we started noticing that it was taking these these areas out, that's when it was lots of people like using the terminology change of structure, or change of, I can't remember what they call it, but I can see this is a slight indication that we're going to change in market shift in market structure, and that's when price was holding under all of these EMAs. So you can see here holding under these EMAs, and that was the position that we entered with this nice, lovely trend line that was just highlighting that we were going to consolidate until it was broken. And then we got into the continuation trade, took it off here. The original plan was to trail stops. I didn't end up trailing the stops, something I don't exactly like doing, but let me see if I can sort this out. Hold on a second.
Hang on, there we go. You should be able to see it now, LJ.
Yeah, can you see it now?
StreamYard's still got those gremlins, unfortunately.
Is it still not working? Okay.
Yeah.
So there you go. We were supposed to trail, but we ended up taking just the full profit at that area. And obviously, you can see now we've just had a lot of consolidation. And other than that, not much has been going on. USD CAD yesterday, which I did record because I mismanaged this trade like crazy, and I'll tell you the reasons why. So price, we looked at USD CAD when it was around here. So as some of you may know, I'd be looking to get in on the EMAs and to get out on the 200. So this was basically the trade idea. So the long was here with a take profit up there, and the short and the stops. This was the trade idea. So we pushed up, really, really nice push up. I was super happy. I started playing with the position, pulled my stops in and pulled them up into this area right here, which was there. But then I decided I was on the 1 minute of any time frame. This is the 5 minute. I was on the 1 minute, and we had a push down. And this is where I decided, let me just see if that was it. this is where I decided to get into another position. So the other position was once we started seeing that, and that was the second position that I was getting into. Now, of course, soon as I get into that added position, price just goes up into my favor. I'm super happy. And then I get held onto that bias that it's going to hit that 200 EMA because, you know, I have great success with the 200 EMA, great success with this type of setup. So I held on to a bias. And because of I was holding on to this bias, I took my trail and I moved it back down so it was break even. And I also left this trade on there. So that trade that was already in 1.5% profit ended up becoming a loss because I got in and it ended. So it was a really, really, really bad management of the trades just because I was mostly concentrated that it was going to hit on the 200. And maybe I got a little bit greedy because I win quite a lot on this type of strategy. Now, if I look back on the 1 hour, why was this not the trade that I should have taken? It's pretty obvious looking at the 1 hour. Like, if I would have done the analysis properly and I would have looked on the 1 hour or I'd have looked on other time frames, I would not have gone and done this particular setup. Because for this particular setup to work, price needs to be already extended. It's not extended, it's just retested the bottom of the range and it's a continuation. So I kind of, because of my, you know, maybe a little bit of impatience, I ended up losing on that trade. Now EU, we had a trade on EU and we're about to get onto a trade on EU now. Let me just double check the risk on that. So 16, so 500 divided by 16. Divided by 16. The gap was a 3.1. So we're putting 3.1 lots on this trade for $500 risk, and then it will be $1,000 reward if we get it. Or a little bit extra. No, it'll be a little bit extra than the 1,000. So when we're looking at EU,
what account are you looking at? What size account are you looking at that for that trade on?
This will be a 50k.
Okay.
So this will be a 50k, but it's hooked up to other accounts. It's not really 50k. The account is 50k, but it's hooked up to a few others as well. Let me just put a sell limit, which I don't normally do, but I'm putting in the sell limit because we're talking. Okay. Fantastic. So the trades were on EU this week was this trade. So if we have a look at this, so I'm looking at price. Price broke this low right here. So I say, okay, we've got this lovely SR level. We're coinciding with a 200 EMA. The idea was this. So you would have gone sell. It wasn't down there, but whatever. Anyway, you can see it just came out and then ended up taking me out straight away. So it went into my favor, didn't cut down, and then ended up taking me out. So that was the one. I got back into this trade after it took me out. So it took me out here. The trade was still in play. So I got into this area here and then ended up cutting it early because I wanted to get into a gold trade. So I've had a couple of mismanagements of trades this week, and I'm not going to hide away from it. So I'm down about 3% this week, which is not bad. Could be a lot better.
It's not as bad as mine. Let me pull up my because my MT5 isn't valid anymore, so I can't actually show you my MT5, but I can show you my. Where is it?
Yeah, it's not bad. I have come off. I wouldn't say I've come off a very good win streak. I've had a very, very good last 2 months. My last 2 months have been ridiculous. So it's okay that.
Sorry,
I just saw your bank account.
I wish you had. Wish you had. You might feel sorry for me. Let's just. Here we go. Let's pull that in. So this was death by 1,000 cuts, basically. As you can see, this was my boot camp. A variety of trades, a variety of assets as well. So USD CAD, gold, pound, Aussie dollar, and just, you know, some really, really strong wins. But then, you know, these losses here represent 0.25 risk. So they're not high risk. It's just poor trade decisions, poor psychology. As I was saying on the Discord before you joined, Al, just these last few weeks, if I was to summarize it, you and I have been trading since the end of January, last week of January, and we've been trading live. And my live trading decisions, I think we spoke about before, instinctively have been really quite good. And I've had some really good trade decisions on the live trades. But if I then look at all of the other trades that I'm taking, those are just me outside of the live streams, trying to juggle a bunch of different things that I've got going on. You know, do some hours for ABL, do some hours for the Fivers, doing some stuff for my cafe, doing some stuff for my private ventures, all these different things. Got kids, wife, dog, everything. All of these things all add up, and they all create more than a full-time job. But the problem is that, you know, my trading is then suffering for it. So one thing I've committed to after blowing this yesterday is to go away and start paper trading again, because this is the only way that I can stop myself from just, you know, destroying an account unnecessarily, you know. So for now it'll be paper trading, and then we'll see if I can get things to calm down a little bit over the next few weeks. Then I'll be looking to potentially open up a new account. I have still got one prop account open with Alpha Capital, actually, which is in drawdown, but it is. Let's just make sure we can pull up yours. But it is still alive and it is still going. I just haven't traded it as much.
So question,
that's why it's still
do
going.
you feel there's a couple of things to it? Do you feel because of you seeing the success on the live streams, it's giving you that confidence then to go hard on the trading, you know, when you're off stream as well, because you've seen really good trades and you've been able to get in, you know what I'm trying to say? And the second thing is, do you feel like because you've been so tired, you're just trying to get a buzz? You're just trying to get a bit of feeling.
About that the other day, didn't we?
Oh yeah, because that's a big thing.
Like, you know,
that's the thing that I've got a problem with doing stuff like that as well. I've got better over it over recent years, but definitely boredom and trading out of trying to get a feeling or buzz, that's definitely
I think that, yes, there's definitely an element of that for sure. I've been deliberately trying to manage my diet lately as well, so I'm not getting it anywhere near as much sugar as I used to, which means that I'm then looking for that buzz elsewhere. I think there is absolutely. I do think there is an element of me trying to, whether I was doing it consciously or not, trying to chase content or trying to create content. You know, True. So, you know, with Alpha Beta Labs, you know, we're building that up. We're trying to produce stuff to share in the community and those sorts of things. And let's be honest, nobody wants to be, you know, a face of a platform, a face of a community that isn't showing success. So I think there's a little bit of ego in there as well, in terms of, I want to share my journey. I want to show you guys how I'm doing well, and I'm chasing things while I'm not on stream to say, hey guys, look, this is my progress. Here's something to share, and trying to, provide something, and I think that's also something I need to be really, really careful and conscious about. And that's why I say I decided yesterday, right, paper trading for the time being. Last night, I think I said to you, got woken up by my dog at 1:30 in the morning because she wanted to go out for a wee, and I just didn't get any sleep last night at all. So if I was genuinely trading today, I probably would be really suffering. So in a way, I'm glad that I'm not. But at the same time, I'm also very, very acutely aware of the fact that there is clearly something that I am not struggling with, but there's something that I'm struggling to restrain, something that I'm struggling to put the brakes on. I hadn't traded properly like I've been trading for this past month. I hadn't been doing that since October last year. And I think there's a variety of different reasons why I wasn't doing that. And I think jumping back into it on a live stream with people watching, the public watching, makes an impact, whether it's right or wrong. It makes an impact on your psychology as well. So, but I was thinking about it yesterday. In a way, I'm kind of glad that it happened, if that has any sense to it, because it's still content's content, whether it's winning or losing. But I think also it's real and it's authentic and it's genuine, and I would like to think that I'm not the only one who's kind of experiencing this sort of thing, who is maybe struggling with their psychology, maybe struggling with their approach to trading, and maybe if there's somebody that people can relate to, it gives you a sense of, all right, okay, this isn't just me. It can be overcome and it can be rectified and worked on. You've been tagged in now, haven't you?
Got slipped. Yeah, but I also got slipped.
How'd you get slipped?
For the good.
Oh, right.
I got slipped to a better position.
Fair enough then. All right.
No, it's not bad.
We can say it here. So who's that with? Who did you get a good slip with?
Yeah. FTMO, that was.
We won't say that on the Discord. We can say that here.
Yeah.
Let's see.
This we need to see now price start to go down. Ideally. like okay, so we're taking out these highs. So a lot of people that would be going short early prematurely, they've just been taken out. You have this high here. I don't think we're going to get to that high. And then obviously the last line of defense, if I want to be, I don't want to be in the trade if it's going to break this high. Price couldn't find any buyers. Couldn't find any buyers here.
Yeah.
Couldn't find any buyers there. And it's already come down. So that was the first little bit of supply. And then obviously it's come back down, found prior demand, and it's pushed up. So
yeah,
that's why I wouldn't want to be in the trade anymore if it comes back up and takes me out, and that's why my stop loss is there.
Yeah,
and that's the 1 minute.
So
gone to 5 minute.
Let me bring mine up as well for a second. Oh, there we go. Let us know, guys, if you can't see it. Hopefully you can. So I'm actually in a long based on the same price action. The reason I'm in a long, but I'm in two minds as to whether or not it's going to hold. Firstly, you've got this perfect equal low down here. So this is on the 1 minute. On the 1 minute, we've got an inside bar up here. So this high isn't a strong high. It's a weak high because it came up and then you had a bit of an indecision and it's come back down. Sorry, that's on the 2 minute. The same on the 3 minute. Now, the only thing that's stopping it is this 3 minute candle here, but at the moment it hasn't wicked strongly enough back down to negate that. The 5 minute, it tried to wick down, it hasn't. And then on the 7 minute, we've then got an inside bar. So there's liquidity at this level and this level. If we go to the 15 minute, it's the fact that we had this engulfing candle that took all of this out, and price came down and couldn't break that low and wicked back up. And it took this level here, which was an inside bar, and it's come up and it's taken this one now. If we go to, which one was it? This one here, the 50 minute. We had this engulfing candle here. We're still sitting nicely above the EMAs. There's no indication that this is slowing down right now. Yes, we've wicked up, but that we could argue that was the news. The same on the 90 minute. We're seeing a nice bullish momentum further up. The 1 hour looks less convincing, but the 1 hour still has another 20 minutes to go. 2 hour, again, the same. 3 hour, we're still pushing up, and it doesn't always happen that on an inside bar. The only time frame that I've found that the inside bars tend to get taken pretty quickly is the 11 hour. The 11 hour is the one where you will normally see these get taken within 3 or 4 candles of when they're formed. So an 11 hour, because the 11 hour is a funny one. This one isn't 11 hours. It's actually only 2 hours. Because what happens is you have an 11 hour and an 11 hour. So it starts at 11 p.m. my time. Then it starts at 10. And then there's only 2 hours left. So it's actually an 11 and 11 and a 2. And that 2 hour very often will be small and compact. But that inside bar still provides a level of opportunity for some liquidity. Normally, as I say, they are... they're taken. You can see that you've got one here that's not taken, one here that's not taken. But generally speaking, if you see them elsewhere, they are. But I think it's fair to say that the way that Trump is managing things and the administration is going,
it is pushing up quite with a lot
rules
of
are out the
momentum
window
at the moment. Yeah, there is a lot of momentum in this particular move. Not quite sure how much I like the way that it's like trickling up and it's starting to volume in the candles are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So I could take a loss on this one.
Only thing that acts as a reassurance, I would say, is this here. So let me remark that. This here is a perfect equal low. There we go. It's pulled back down. So I might close mine with $15 profit.
I would have left yours. To be fair.
I don't like the way that pulls back down. The way that's pulled back down is going to be on, there you go, on the 2 minute, for example. It's taken this last area of liquidity and it's got this inside bar. That's the next one to take, and it's reacted massively away from there. For me, that's a big warning flag to say, sorry. Same on the 5 minute. It's taken that last area of liquidity and it's wicked back down. It could well continue, but again,
I think it is going to continue. I might close out
last area and pushes on up. But look what's further below this trail. You've got wickless down here. Yeah, that's wickless. You've got perfect equal lows down here. And you've got perfect equal lows down here. And I think, is that an equal low? No, that's not an equal low, but it's wickless. Yeah. So all on the lower time frame, that's significant major liquidity that price will want to come down and take before making any major significant breakout of structure. At least that's what I've seen in backtesting. So we'll see. Because look at that one now. If you look at that on the 15 minute, so I got out roughly about there, so it's less than a 1 hour. If you look at that reaction now, we've got 3 minutes left of this 15-minute candle. That 15-minute candle has tried to push up, but it's wicked back down. This one now has tried to push up, and it's also wicking back down, suggesting that we're going to now see price coming back down to try and take the lower levels. I do think I need somebody out there, anyone out there who is good at Pine script. Let me know. I want to write a Trump indicator. In fact, I might do that after this. After we've live streamed, I might go to ChatGPT and say, write me a Pine script for a Trump indicator that tells me when he's tweeted something to tell me if the market's going to move.
I see. Do you know, this trade does make me a little bit uncomfortable, and the reason being is just because we are so there's so much momentum upside, and even though it's in profits now, I do feel I'm uncomfortable. And it's quite weird because I don't normally feel like this.
Where are we on the? Look where we are on the ATR. We've basically hit ATR. So that could also be another reason to say, actually, we might now see a pullback. Obviously, the unknown is what's Powell going to say. We've got Powell speaking in whatever it is in a few hours from now. Strength-wise, the euro is still showing a lot of strength right now, but the dollar isn't showing that much weakness. I think in terms of the dollar, I think people are waiting to hear what Powell's got to say. If we look at that, the other thing I'd look at is, I'm just wondering if let me turn those off and let me add the RSI. Yeah, see, look at the RSI, where we've come up to. So I don't know if you can see that very well. You probably can't see that very well. Let me change my background color. Does that make it better? No, that makes it worse. Does that make it any better? I hate having it white, but there we go. If you look at it on an RSI on the 3-minute, we're curving. On the half an hour, we're curving back down. 15-minute, we've tried to break above it, and we're pushing back down. So I would say, actually, I'm comfortable having closed it, if I'm honest. Where it did, and the way that it's reacted, I'm actually okay with it. Let's see what it's like on the 7-minute.
Yeah, I'm closing this.
Let's see. That's why I'm not a big fan of the RSI, but it is just a nice way just to see, okay, where have we come from, to maybe give you an indication of what we can expect. LJ saying, yeah, higher lows since payroll drop has me leaning long also. Up to 109.25 by the supply level in November. You can see on the daily where market heavy shifted short on election news. True.
Okay.
My only caveat is being Friday after such significant moves already this week, and on the DXY we've blown through 500 and 100 day EMAs. Yeah, exactly.
I agree with you, LJ, and that's one of the reasons why, for me, this is probably a risky short. And the reason being is just because the momentum is just ridiculous. There's so many things going in its favor why it potentially will come back down just for a bit of a mean reversion trade.
Let me turn that off.
Hold on. How do I? I can't find my screen. Having too many screens on here, man. It's killing me.
I need to change that background color. Sorry, guys. Can't be having that. That's better. Interesting stat there from LJ. So this week is the third largest weekly gain for the euro since the year 2000.
Yeah, so when I hear that, do I really want to be shorting that momentum? Oh, well, it's kind of working.
Trading
so
view
far
is doesn't go that far back, but I mean it is a massive pump When you look at it, even just going back to what we might expect, we measure this one, for example. That was a 4.63, and that was in November 2022, and that's a 4.94. So it is a significant, very, very significant week. But we are, this is the other thing to consider. So you look on the weekly, look where we are there. We're right bang in what I would normally define as
I have lost where this StreamYard bloody stream is. I can't find it anywhere.
What?
I can't find it. I can't find it anywhere on this computer. On this.
So you can't see what I'm doing or what I'm saying, or you know,
found it.
You can hear me.
Oh, there you go. I found it.
I was going to draw some lovely pictures on the screen and everything.
Oh, that was so funny, man. I couldn't find it for anything.
There you go.
I can't even see where chart. Oh God, is that going down? Oh, and I was so close to closing it, boys. Boys, I was that close from closing it.
Did I not say to you that it was going to come down and take that liquidity? Now it might be worth.
I say to you, I was about to close it as well. I literally had my finger on the thing. I was like, I don't feel comfortable with this trade.
You can't see what I'm showing, but if you look on the 5 minute, the bearish candle at 10 past the hour, if it breaks past that, then I think you're okay for the sells. Otherwise, it could react back up again.
Yeah, I want to.
You may want to close now. Hey, Louis. Is it Louis or Lewis? I never know.
And what's he going to be able to tell you against that?
Well, you could spell it. It could be Lewis as in Lewis, or it could be Louis as in Lou, for example. I don't know. Yeah, look at that. That might be a time to close.
Yeah, it is that
reaction there. Louis Soundy. Louis. All right. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're well. Bill, I don't know what you're laughing at. I guess you're laughing at Alex. Or me.
I can't deal with this bloody. Oh God.
So let's just get this straight. You rearranged your home office today because you wanted to change, and in doing so, you've basically screwed up your entire computer setup as well. Is that what happened?
Basically, I think so. Yeah, things are just not going the way. Do you know some days you just like things are just not going the way that you want them to do?
I have that.
One of them.
I have that a lot.
Like this particular screen, I don't know where it is on my computer. Like, where is that? I can't find it.
It's a C Trader, mate. Just find C Trader on your Mac.
I've found C Trader and it's disappeared, mate. I found it. Okay. Found it, guys. Okay. So I'm thinking now, just to pull in my risk, just because I just don't like this trade too much, just to pull it in.
Personally, I would take your profit. Personally,
you'd take the profit.
I would.
I say we would do something like this. Should we do a poll?
Yeah, if you've got access to it, or do you want me to do it?
Oh my God,
Alex! It's always Alex. LJ says time to close.
Yeah.
Break those lower lows. LJ says time to close. Thanks, LJ. Appreciate the backup.
Don't know, man.
Look at the 15-minute.
Oh, no, I'm aware of that. Oh, that 15-minute looks disgusting. Especially if you want to be short.
Yeah. And the 7 minute as well. Let me show you the 7 minute. It didn't break this low here. That one there, and it's now forming. It's still got another 3 minutes to go. Could easily form another bullish engulfing, because remember, it started with that inside bar. That's the thing. That's the weak link. That inside bar is a weakness to it.
This is why this is, you know. Oh God. So this you can tell is a setup that I don't normally take, because that's because I'm uncomfortable with it. Like, this is not a setup that I would normally take.
Was it squeaky bum time?
No, not squeaky bum time. I think it was just more like there's a lot of reasonable reasons why we would have price come down, but nothing is reasonable, or anything can happen as soon as you get into the trade. You know, it doesn't matter if you think something's going to happen, it will just happen. The market will do whatever it wants to do. So
I'm right.
Reacted off these to the EMAs.
If it can break that low that it just made, the most recent one,
I think we're good. Yeah, I agree.
I think you're fine. If it can't, then I'd be looking to get out.
But in all fairness, there is a lot of support it has to break to get to my take profit.
That pump down right now has started with a perfect equal high on the 1 minute, and just above it is a wickless candle as well on the 1 minute. So it doesn't look particularly strong.
Strong to the downside.
Yeah, it looks like it's strong to the upside.
It's quite nerve-wracking, this trade. Why is it so nerve-wracking?
Because it's Friday. That was a very brummy description of it being nerve-wracking. There was a bit of brum coming out in there. One weekend back in the UK and you've come back a proper brummy.
Do you know what? Yeah, that does happen to me.
The same, do you know that? Did I ever tell you that my dad's from Northern Ireland, and years and years ago I went to Northern Ireland with him. He hasn't actually got that much of a strong accent. We went for basically celebrating his 60th, I think it was, and we were over there, and I couldn't stay for very long. I had to come back to Poland, and I got a really, really early morning taxi ride. And I get in the taxi, and I'd been there for a few days, and I just picked up kind of the twang of the accent. And the taxi driver starts talking to me. He says, "Oh, you know, you're going to the airport. Where are you going?" "Oh, I live in Poland." And he goes, "Oh, so where are you from originally? You don't sound like you're from around here." And I was like, No, I'm not around here. So he goes, "What, Australia?" I was like, "No, not Australia." So my Northern Irish accent was not up to scratch, apparently.
So German bonds had the largest move since 1990, when the Berlin Wall came down, propping up euro hard still, feeling. So, do you know what? You could be right, mate. You could be right.
Yeah.
We're gonna see in the next couple of minutes. He starts finding some.
The current 1 hour. Current 1 hour is closing as an inside. As an inside bar, leaving liquidity on either side, unless it pumps down now.
I'm happy to take a break even on this if it comes back up.
Curious where you get your news on those sorts of things, LJ, because that's the kind of insight I probably wouldn't have seen. Where you picking up that sort of information? Do you have a particular source that you use?
Down the pub, mate. What I like getting my news from. And the boys with a pork scratchings and a couple of pints for the game. I can't do the English accent. I don't know why I'm trying to do an English accent. I can't an English accent.
You try and do a Cockney accent.
Cockney accent.
Just stick to your normal one.
Well, give me them bees and honey, son. Give me them pork scratching with them bees.
Retracement looking like a next week thing. Oh no, it's pushing.
You know what?
Down.
I've been waiting a week for bloody retracement. What's been going on, man? Is this it?
I think
Is this it?
Oh. Every retail trader has been waiting for a retracement. In fairness,
this can't all be from Trump and his tariffs, though. Seriously.
No, this is not just Trump and his tariffs. This is also Trump and his approach to Ukraine, and all the other stuff that he's been doing. So,
why would that have such an impact? So you're saying this is a dollar move or a euro move?
I'm saying this is a euro move because if you look at what happened after the weekend events in the White House, what happened? Europeans came back massively and said, no, screw this. We don't care what Trump says. We're going to support Ukraine. And I can't remember who it was. One of the politicians was saying that within days, they're going to be having meetings and conversations with European defense manufacturers and European defense producers. So cutting out. Yeah. Instead of using the US ones. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, I didn't understand.
In this week alone, Starlink, Elon Musk's Starlink, have lost billions of orders and subscriptions from various different organizations and governments, again, because of the association with Trump. Teslas are just getting pummeled. The whole thing just doesn't look good for the dollar right now. And I think there's a general consensus that if you're making a whole bunch of people laid off as well, it doesn't look good. But if you're going to have all these orders coming in, then you would expect the euro to respond positively. But look, LJ's pulled up that one for the German bonds. Wouldn't have known that one. Various places. I've got a Reuters feed in my personal brokerage and Bloomberg. That's the main ones. And I generally plunder the net as well as I've got Reuters.
I really want to see this. Really want to see this break. But yeah, I'm happy not taking the full amount and just getting down out of the 50.
I think it's all right. I think it's all right now because it's broken down that level. I think you'll see it push down further. The only thing is that on the 1 minute is those perfect equal highs. That's the only thing that is a little bit, I would say, tricky. But I think you'll see it push down because it's got on the 1 hour now. Let me show you on the 1 hour.
What an angle.
So you see on the 1 hour. You see on the 1 hour there, we've created that inside bar. Now the only thing is this is a week.
On the 1 hour, it looks like it's going up. The 1 hour looks like it's going up.
On the 1 hour, what it could do is it could do something like this and take those liquidity levels. Because that's now a liquidity level here, and it's a liquidity level here, this one, on the 3 hour. You see that there? That's the 3 hour right now. And bearing in mind we've got liquidity up here as well. As I said, we are in a weekly engulfing candle wick, which is not insignificant. Really not insignificant. What has it reacted from? I'm trying to see what's. It's normally a weekly one. There you go. Look, you got one there as well. Back in August 23, and back here in
go on,
January 23.
Pushing. Oh, push.
Talking to if it's pregnant.
Push. I'm gonna need the epidural. Is it the epidural? What's that thing that they inject?
To get rid of the pain. LJ reckons it's 70% euro and a 30% USD movement. Big moves on the euro side from spending, willingness to break budget limits, and optimism in the Ukraine solution. Yeah, exactly. I think it's triggered by the US, but because of what the US have been doing, the Europeans have taken action, and that's why you're seeing the euro so strong. So it's not necessarily that the dollar is weak, but it's just as a backlash, let's say. Any EU tariffs being able to be resolved or worked out, just as Mexico and Canada. On the other hand, a number of downgrades for US GDP from Trump's actions past 2 weeks. Exactly. Yeah. So, LJ, curious where
he felt that he thought people would just roll over.
He did. That's why he's turned around on Canada. He's gone back on the Canadian tariffs because he didn't think that they would retaliate in the way they have. I mean, they've been basically turn around saying they're going to turn off electricity supplies to places like New York and stuff because they get their electricity from Canada. Energy supplies for part of the US comes from the Canadian side.
Yeah.
He just figured the Canadians were just nice, friendly people, and that they would just roll over and take it. So, as I said earlier, people like him, they only respond to people that stand up to them. They expect everyone to just bend down to it.
That's why I think Starmer's going to get absolutely wrecked. I really think Starmer's going to get wrecked. Come on.
Let's hope not. Let's hope not. For the sake of the UK and for the sake of the fact that our families are there, let's hope not. But I don't know. In fairness, the response to Starmer has been very, very positive. I've not seen the UK as united as it has been in the last week or so since
with Starmer
2016.
From what has he done though?
Just from what basically his response after the fiasco in the Oval Office a week ago, he invited Zelensky open arms into Downing Street. Just the optics of it was just like night and day. And has basically said, right, we're going to do a coalition of the allies. We're going to support Ukraine no matter what. Basically saying, everything that Trump should be saying, which is Russia, Russia the aggressors, Russia the ones who invaded, etc., etc. Starmer has come out and said that. And then, he got invited to Sandringham to go and see the king and all this sort of stuff. And then they had the London summit as well. Did you see that you had the Daily Mail come out and criticize Trump? The most right-wing main newspaper in the UK came out and criticized Trump, which never happens.
I did not follow the news at all.
All of the UK tabloids turned around and were all on the same page for the first time in 10 years, I would say, or even more. It's been quite a surprise, I think.
We're sitting on a little bit of support. If I have a look at this on the 15-minute. Is that broken or is that sitting on the support? Is that actually broken?
Let me have a look.
Looks like it broke it. But it's sitting on this 21 EMA.
Yeah. It looks decent on the 2 minute.
I can't on the 2 minute. I've never ever looked on a 2 minute chart. Oh yes, it does look quite decent. It looks very decent on a 2 minute.
There you go. You see,
Wow.
it's all about perspective. It's all about perspective.
You know what? I like that. Yeah, it is all about perspective.
Have enough time frames, and you can find one that agrees with you. It might only be one of them, but if you can find one that agrees with you, then
have you ever heard of the strategy if you've ever I always say to somebody, because I don't really dislike anyone, really. I never really dislike anyone, but whenever I have a friend that complains about somebody else, I ask them just to find one thing that is good about that person. Sometimes it takes a long time. Yeah. But once they find that one good thing, suddenly they start liking that person. It's the same with the trading, you know? You just have to find that one time frame that agrees with what you're trying to think and trying to do.
I thought you were trying to say, Mike, try and find one good thing about Trump. And I was like, what the hell do you want me to think about Trump?
Nah, you can think whatever you want about Trump. I don't mind. I like him.
Yeah,
I really do like him.
I think the sells are coming in. I think you're good for sells. It's just very, very slow. I think what's happening is it's waiting for what Powell's going to say.
I hope not, because I ain't got time for that.
That's got another.
And I hate being in a position. I hate being in a position not being in front of a computer. Yeah, I agree with you
as well.
I'm a big. I like the big T. Needed somebody like the big T to look. If you have a look, and we're not turning this into a political program, but if you have a look at all of the other countries that got dictatorships, Iran, Russia, all of these places, we didn't really have anybody of strength in the West.
True.
And that's something that I think we needed. So I think the playoff of the fact that he is a little bit unpredictable and he's very unpredictable, and he may be a little bit of a baby when it comes to not getting his own way. But we need somebody to really shake things up, because the situation across the world is quite dire.
That I agree with. That I completely agree with. But, and again, let's not get into politics too much. Do you think that his approach to Putin, and his appeasement of Putin is the way to go? The only thing I hold as a hope.
We never know what is actually happening, though. Truly, that's the issue.
And you know, the one thing that I hold as a hope in the back of my mind is that one of the biggest things that he used to moan and complain about was how European nations weren't contributing their fair share to NATO, right? And he's like, I'm coming out of NATO, blah, blah, blah. I mean, if this was his play, was to turn around and say, right, we're pulling out, that's it, we're done, we're not going to support Ukraine. And this was basically his way of getting the Europeans to buck their ideas and start investing properly in defense. Well, then he's got what he wanted. So,
but they're not doing it with the US.
They're not doing it with the US, which he wasn't necessarily expecting to happen, probably. So
yeah, this is also quite true as well. You'd be surprised the amount of
the number of wars that the US have started, right, is ridiculous, right? And you know, I agree with that. Trump is basically turning around saying we're not starting any more wars. I don't want to be part of anyone else's, you know, issues. That I completely agree with. You know, until he says
to Ukraine, you know, we're not going to fund you unless you sign the deal with for your minerals.
Yeah, that's just. I think there's a way of going about it, and maybe it's just the disruption of the world order. Maybe this is what we're facing, you know. For right or for wrong, it is what it is, and we just have to watch it play out.
I think we've got some hidden
money from it.
divergences on these lows.
Do you know, if you look at the EMAs on the 1 minute though.
Oh no, we haven't got hidden divergences.
On the 3 minute, you're hitting the 200. That's what's getting you.
So we're slowly grinding all of these supports, basically.
Yeah. Very, very slowly and
painfully. All of these supports, all of these levels have got to go through. All of those orders have got to go through in order for us to get down here. That's why I said it was going to be a grind for us to get through all of this stuff. Shall I just call it at 1%?
Mate, 1% is 1%. I know it's not what you want.
1% is 1%. I am down 3% on the week.
I suppose the question is are you confident that this trade will give you what you want?
It's not what it's quite an interesting question, because it's like, am I putting what I want onto the chart right now and not what price is telling me? At the end of the day, price, if you have a look at it, is stuck in a range right now.
Yeah,
and we are at the bottom of the range. How long has this got?
The challenge you've got is on the higher time frame. We're still very much bullish, right? There's if you look at the EMAs and the trend and everything else, you then take it down to the much lower time frames of the 1 minute, the 2 minute, the 3 minute, and those, then it looks like bearish momentum is kicking in. So it's just I suppose it's a question to you is are you prepared to sit it out and watch this trade play out, and deliver what it is that you want? Then what is it that you want it to deliver? Because it's this the support it's got right now is from the news. It's still that wick from the news is still ultimately that support it's got right now, and it hasn't been able to break it, and it's just struggling to break past it, and it's done it on 3 occasions now, on, for example, the 11 minute and the 15 minute. The 15 minute, it doesn't look very clear, but it has done it.
Okay, so I've drawn in my stops to this higher, this low, this higher low, this lower low, sorry. We broke here.
So you'll still get some profit from it?
Yeah, I'll get half and half. Because even if we have a look here as well, it just looks like it's having a kind of flag type pattern.
Yeah, I think it's waiting for Powell. Is my personal view. It's going from one side to the other in a range, and it's just generating liquidity on either side. One thing that's holding that I would be still cautious about is the fact that you've got that those inside bars on at the very, very top of the move, just after the news hit.
Yeah, I
probably just trade each peak. Yeah, quite possible as well. But yeah, we'll see. We'll look forward to Alex telling us how this one plays out on Monday. So. We'll be back again on Monday morning. We're not here Tuesday because Tuesday we have got the Master Risk event with the Fivers. Alex is the big man host for the day with Anastasia, I think. Is that right, Alex?
Yep.
For the day on Tuesday. So So we won't be here on Tuesday, but we'll be here Monday morning, 8 a.m. GMT as usual. And yeah, if you've jumped into the Alpha Beta Lab community, then we'll love to see you in there, and look forward to seeing your contributions.
Take a look at
the community.
Dirk's course as well. Dirk's course on macroeconomics. It's really good. Give us the feedback on it as well. It's a super good course, but obviously, learning the different ways of producing a course that is also entertaining in a way, but the underlining content there is really valuable, and it's worth giving it a watch, because you'll learn some good things there. I'm going to close this trade. That's it.
It's getting you nervous again.
Yeah, I've just closed it to $400. That's it.
400 is 400, mate.
400 is
right
400.
Then. Exactly. It's 400 more than you had an hour ago or 2 hours ago.
Indeed, it is. We gotta remember that as traders as well. Honestly, sometimes we're like rolling in like $1,000, $2,000 P&L, and it's like
it's not enough.
It's not. And it's just like, oh, that's actually like $2,000. Like, why don't? Is there? That's the thing. I think trading has got me so like blasé with money, because it's really bad. Actually, it's just like
it just becomes numbers. It doesn't even become. It loses its value, doesn't it?
It loses. So,
yeah. Anyway, guys, thanks ever so much for joining, and have a good weekend, and we will see you next time.
Yep.
Cheers,
see you guys. Bye.